Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of Road to National Master. We are back with yet another game, and this is round 4. We are now getting straight into round 4 with an excellent score of 2.5 out of 3. So we got 2 wins. Round 1, clean, super good win. Round 2 was a draw. Round 3, another win with a super precise game. So I hope you guys saw that one because it was a great game. And this is another nuclear game. We are going to pop off this game, and we are playing against the 1922. So yeah, I've never played this guy. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the game. And it starts off with knight f3. I have the white pieces here again. And funny thing is, I spent a long time prepping against this opponent of mine. I spent a long time. I checked all of his games, like every single game he's ever played, and 98% of his games were all c5 for his black. And I prepped up something amazing, which sometime in the near future, I hope I'll be able to show you guys in an actual game of mine. But since I'm not going to be showing that, I'm going to save it till an actual game that I've played it. So anyways, I've made this huge amazing prep for him against him, and he just plays g6. So he doesn't go for a c5 line, just plays g6, which I was really devastated by. But anyways, that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you prep against them, they prep against you, and that's just how it is. So g6 by him. I play g3 here, and an immediate bishop g7. And I learned my lesson from the damn, was it even this tournament? I think it was a different tournament, maybe the Brasiliense Classical, but I remember there was a game where I played the Dutch defense and I missed my chance to play d4. So in this game, I play d4 straight away, and I don't allow black to play even e5 here. So I play d4 like a good player, and knight f6 comes in. So just developing now. It's all pretty standard again. Bishop g2, castles. We're both playing the opening quite quickly at this point, and d6 by him. So whenever they play d6 like this, they have two options, or actually three options. They could play something like c6, they could play c5, or they could play e5. All of these are possibilities for black, and it's really up to personal taste, really. So yeah, the standard procedure here for white is just to go c4. So I go c4 and c5 by him. So c5 is committing to this kind of Sicilian dragon structure where you're going to have your pawns in this formation here. Good pressure on the d4 square. And this is something that I actually play with the black pieces, or used to play for a very long time. So this is definitely something I'm familiar with as black, but not so familiar with white. So I was kind of uncomfortable at this point. So not really uncomfortable. It's hard to say uncomfortable because it's such an equal and still a good position here for the white pieces. Many plans here, but it was something that, let's put it like this: I'd much rather play against e5 than c5. So I play knight c3 here, just developing and bringing my pieces to control the center as much as possible. This is really key in these openings where you have your pieces just controlling the whole center here, and especially when the position can open up. So in some King's Indian positions, or most of them, you have a closed center for like a pawn push to d5. In this case, they could play c6 d4, and then that means the center is opened up, and it's really important to manage your minor pieces well in these open positions. And c6 d4 comes in. I have to take back with my knight or queen. I choose the knight. And after knight c6, this is a pawn sacrifice, and this is really where I start getting uncomfortable, because this is a pawn sacrifice that I myself play. I play this exact same line as black pieces. Maybe he saw this in like my database and he wanted to try and play the same thing. So he played exactly what I play here, just try and mess with my head a bit, maybe. Or maybe he just does consistently play this. I'm not really sure, but this was really fun to see. Okay, so um, generally speaking, when my opponents take this knight and they win a free pawn, um, I'd score really well as black here, really, really well. So I was really scared to play this as the white pieces, as the white side, because I am winning a pawn, but there's going to be tons of counterplay for black. But you know what? I say, fuck it, let's do it. I'm taking that knight, and I take it. So that's a free pawn for me. And all I have to do basically is deal with black's counterplay. So this is the idea of the position. Black sacrifices a pawn, but what they get out of the pawn sacrifice is tons of pressure on this b2 square. So the bishop's going to be looking at b2, the queen can come out and develop quickly, and maybe do stuff like attacking this c4 pawn. Let's just say queen c2 happens someday, then my bishop is under attack. If I move this back, I lose the pawn. And if I push b3 forwards just to defend all of my pawns and make a pawn chain, this diagonal becomes killer. So there are many, many problems in this specific position here that white needs to find a way to deal with. And so I calculated many different possibilities here. And after a long think, I came to the conclusion that the best thing to do is not to lose a tempo with my bishop, because like I said, queen c7 attacking my bishop, that's really annoying. So to avoid any funny business, I'm just going to play bishop g2. Just go back and try and secure my pawn that way. So bishop g2 on the board. He needs to find a way to add pressure and develop. He goes for queen a5, which is really natural here. So I like this idea by him. And the thing is this, if I play c3 now, sorry, pawn b3, I'm hanging my knight on c3. So I can't do this. So if I want to someday push this pawn and consolidate my pawn advantage, I need to control this square here. So for this reason, I play queen c2. And of course, this is all very like simplistic explanation. Many more things were going in my head at the time, and it was really hard to calculate all of the lines, like move by move. And this is what you should be doing in your game. It's not like I'm just blitzing these out. I'm really considering them for a long time. Each move, like probably 2 to 3 minutes at the bare minimum, is what I'd say. And I know that bishop g2 I spent like 5 minutes, and queen c2 was something like 4 minutes, something like that. So I was taking my time, calculating properly and playing everything correctly. So queen c2, and my idea here is simply going to be to play stuff like bishop b2, sorry, bishop d2, and probably knight d5 at some point. And okay, that seems to defend the pawn. I'm not really sure how black is going to make use of this this pressure here, except for playing bishop b7. This is what I was really scared of. I was scared of bishop b7 stuff because that threatens to trade off my bishops. And if I don't want to trade off bishops, I have to play something like pawn e4, but that's really committal, and I wasn't really sure that was the best decision. Maybe it was, but anyways, that was the second point behind bishop to g2 in the first place. So bishop comes back. It gives me the opportunity to play pawn e4 if necessary. So here he makes an inaccuracy, or better yet, a mistake, as the engine says, and plays knight g4. And knight g4 is really thematic in these positions, but there's a difference. The difference here is that black is a tempo down. And by being a tempo down, this allows white for a very powerful strike here. So this is what led me to start playing in a way where I believe I have the advantage. And so it is white to play what would be the best move. Pause the video, guys. Let me know if you find it in the comments below. And if you did, congratulations. The move here is knight d5. Knight d5. Now, why is this move so good? Because in chess principles, people are always told to never move the same piece twice. But this move is super powerful, super strong, because it's not just making a threat here. It has a bigger purpose behind it. And the bigger purpose is, in these positions as black, the whole point of playing knight g4 is that you want to at some point play queen over to the king side, and then this comes with a checkmate threat, and it's really going to be an active position for black. And so just to avoid this transfer of the queen to the king side, I play knight d5, and this completely cuts off the queen. Completely cuts off the queen. So this move I'm really proud of for finding. I think this was a great move, and so yeah, e7 is under attack. You have to deal with that. And the engine says queen d8. Queen d8 is what I would play, and queen d8 is what I play in my last game. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. It's kind of similar, where white had the bishop on d2, and I moved my queen back to d8. That's a very similar position. And here he goes for rook e8, which is an imprecision. And it's an imprecision precisely because of bishop d2. And now you can either move your queen to somewhere which isn't d8, or you could just move your queen back to d8 anyways, which means that rook e8 doesn't make much sense. So, okay, queen's under attack. I was thinking he was going to play queen a6. He plays queen c5. And when I played bishop d2, I took a really long think, because I saw this queen c5 move, and I saw it not to be good. It was actually a terrible move, and if you guys can see it, the reason behind it being a terrible move is b4, super powerful attack. So ask yourself now, guys, where can the queen go? Yes, my rook is under attack, but danger levels. If you watch any of Gotham Chess's video, anyway, shout out to Gotham Chess, love your videos, man. The rook is under attack, but danger levels, the queen is worth more, so you have to focus on this first. So queen is under attack. You can move here, but there's a discovery. You can move here, and that's basically it, right? You've got these two squares only. But yeah, and this loses the queen, so just discovery and win the queen. So that doesn't work. There's literally only one square, so he moves to the square which doesn't hang the queen, of course. And this is where it's getting really tactical, because notice that the queen is very limited here. There are very little squares that the queen can move to. There's literally only this square, and that's about it. This square and this square, and besides that, your queen really can't move anywhere. So my whole game plan here is just to trap the queen. That's what I'm going for. And the engine gives the top move rook a d1 here. I don't play rook a d1 because I saw that after this move there's queen b2, and then sure, we can queen trade, and white's position is really good, but I thought I could get more out of the position for many reasons. First being that my opponent seemed to be really uncomfortable in the position, so I thought, let's increase the level of difficulties and tactics that he has to deal with in the position. So after queen d4, I'll allow him to play queen takes a1 by playing h3. And then if he plays queen takes a1, then rook takes a1, bishop takes a1, and then we've traded off two rooks for a queen, but his knight is under attack. Very little squares, and my position is still super active, so I like this a lot for me. And he doesn't play queen takes a1. He instead doesn't even move his knight back. So when I played h3, there were two other possibilities, which was knight h6. If knight h6, of course, then I just play rook a d1. And if he plays knight e5, I was calculating for this. So knight moving to e5, that's threatening to capture on c4 with the queen, just creating another square for the queen to move to. But rook a c1 stops that completely. And if knight takes c4, then there would be bishop c3, knight a3, and it looks like we're going to have to trade queens, so queen for queen, but actually there's a saving move here, queen a4, which I found in the game, and I would have played if this were to happen. So queen a4 hits the knight, the queen is still being hit, and the rook is hit, so all three pieces under attack. This is just, to me, beautiful. I love this position, and yeah, this would be really nasty. I would resign if I got this position here as black. And he doesn't play any of those options. What he goes for is bishop f5. Now, what to say about bishop f5? I didn't see it. And I was really getting nervous here because, okay, my queen is hit. If I move my queen anywhere, then he takes my bishop on d2, so I can't be doing that. And I was calculating, okay, what if I trade all my pieces for the queen, that doesn't really work out as well. So it's getting really tough here. Queen c3 was a possibility here, but queen c3 felt like not enough, and it's just equalizing here, or maybe only slightly better for white. So I wasn't really into queen c3 a whole lot. And since he moved bishop f5, I don't have queen a4 anymore because the rook is now defended by the other rook. So there's that also. And I see the top engine move, which I end up playing. But I also saw that if I play the top engine move, there are just crazy tactics. And this was really a huge decision for me. I was so scared at this point. This is going to be the highest rated player I've beaten. I've been in winning positions against higher rated players in the past, but this is like something that, okay, if I get this right, it's a guaranteed win. And I found the correct move, and I played it, which is e4. Everything is under attack. This is under attack. This is under attack. The queen is near trapped, and it's getting crazy. It's really getting crazy. And I saw that black had this amazing response here, but luckily it ends up working for white. So what I had to see in this position was knight takes f2, which I did see. And now, again, pause the video, guys. White to play and win. Actually, it's difficult to say that because there are many good moves that win in this position. So I'll just show the move. The move that I play here is bishop to e3. And the reason bishop h3 works is that after knight takes h3, if I take the knight with my bishop, then that's actually not good for white, because there would be stuff like queen takes e4 or bishop takes e4, stuff like that. And the winning move here, which I also had to see and found, was king h2. And again, everything is under attack. There's no more checks, no more threats to make, and this is just going to be a winning position here for white. And my opponent spent the rest of his time thinking about a move, and he couldn't find the resource to get himself out of this mess, and he timed out. So really, really crazy chess game, really crazy position. There's so much that I had to calculate in the game, which I can't show you guys now because that would be like a 2 hour long video or something. 1 hour is more realistic actually. But let me know, guys, if you guys are interested in watching longer games or longer commentaries where I go move by move and show exactly every single thing I think. I can somewhat remember most of what I think about in my games, so that would actually be good content. So if you guys would enjoy that kind of stuff, let me know in the comments. And yeah, so this was just a crazy game. My opponent played really well as well. In the review, I did manage to score a 96.7% accuracy, which is one of my best performances yet. And against the 1922, that's just amazing for me. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this game. Hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.